Okay, I got it. All right, everyone, thank you for being here. Thank you to all the new senators here who are coming in next term for being here as well. Just a reminder, we do have a workshop after this Senate meeting. So if you can stay towards that, Hunter will be the one running that. We have an extremely packed agenda, so we're going to try to get through this as best we can. And we know it's midterms week, so we don't want to keep you guys here too long. Awesome. Okay. So we will begin with opening prayer. I'm just going to do the serenity prayer. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. In the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. All right, roll call.
Okay, our question of the day is, in light of spring break, what is your dream destination? So we're going to start off with Louis Cornett. Avery Gaylor.
Here, I'll say Bora Bora.
Thomas Clark.
Probably Florence.
Amelia Forrest.
Thailand.
Ryan Murray.
Here, Niles, Michigan.
Caitlin Garcia.
Here, Turkey.
Sam Godinez.
Here, Taiwan.
Jacob Zabura.
Here, Ibiza with the boys.
Ryan Lally.
Here, the Galapagos Islands.
Justice Walker. Here, Italy. Joseph Tunney.
Here, Hawaii.
Lindy Scooby.
Here, Lake Como.
The French.
Isabel Rodriguez.
Here, Brazil.
Maria Bueno. Or proxy for Maria Bueno. Rocco Giannotti.
Here, the Amalfi Coast.
Justin Aguirre.
Here, the Bahamas.
Clay Chauncey.
Here, Easter Island.
Claire Hobit. Here, Libby Meister.
Here, Japan.
Maeve Miller. Here, Bahamas. James Bradley. Or proxy. Jaden Espinoza.
Here, Ibiza.
Charlie Peel.
Here, Cancun.
Stella Vasquez. Here, Fiji. Nora Myers.
Here, Greece.
Vinny Vitali.
Here, Vietnam.
Gara Obidi. Here, Copenhagen. Andrew Ryan.
Here on Alaska.
Ryan Casey.
Here,
Dorian Koshio.
Here, Maldives.
Mariana Esparza.
Here, Seoul.
Quinn Shannon. Proxy.
Here, Greece.
Also, can you say your name,
My name
dorm, and a fun fact about you?
Okay, my name is Iabo, and my dorm is Welsh fam. And fun fact, I'm from a suburb of Philly.
Thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
Carl Fallon. Ian Show.
I'm here at the Galapagos.
Faith Sullivan. Or proxy. Lula Romero.
Here, Mama Mallorca.
Rose Nguyen.
Here, Singapore.
Max Feist.
Here, Greece.
Aaliyah Applin.
Here, Cancun.
Ava DeCroy.
Proxy.
My name is Anna Tierlink. I'm also living in Belsham, and my fun fact is that I'm the new CCC president, and if I could go anywhere, it'd be Marrakesh.
Belle Marchetti.
Here, Australia.
Aubrey Stefano.
Here, anywhere I can be in the Arctic Circle.
Eden Resner.
Here, I'll say Australia.
Hunter Brook.
I will say my grandmother's house in northeastern Indiana.
Clear Lake.
Yes. Yeah. You know, they're like.
Hannah Blacksmith.
Starting my turn.
Okay,
Mark out.
perfect. So, hi, Mark. We were due, what's your dream destination? Lily Canadina.
Here, the Dolomites.
Peter Ship. Bridget Shippers.
A polar bear safari in Churchill, Canada.
Coronisa.
Here, Okinawa.
Mo Doyle.
Here, and I'm gonna take Peter's lead, and I'm gonna say Mars. Excellent, excellent inspiration, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna now go through the new senators, so there are a few repeats, so if I say you twice, I'm sorry. James Baird. Matthew Dunn,
Here. Holly Michigan.
Kate Shomas,
Here, Greece.
Irvine Asumo,
It's Irving, but here. Italy?
Matthew Witch,
Here, it's Wick, in Italy.
Henry Kellen, Lauren Whitlatch, here, Spain. Laura Clements, here, Pennsylvania. Tommy Dex,
Here,
did I say that right?
that's.
Anna Beck,
Here, probably Australia.
Andrea Jasso,
Here, South of France.
Lindsay Lark, Jack Suck,
Here, same as yours.
Samantha Ismail,
Here, and Paris.
Sophia Grierson,
Here, Greece.
Grace Lynch,
Here, Ireland.
Griffin,
Here, Utah.
Francesca Lichtenberger,
Here in Laos.
Iyabo Ojulari,
Here,
yes. Leah Randolph. Okay, that's the end of roll call.
Awesome, thank you. And thank you again, new senators, for being here. We'll now go on to approval of minutes, so you take some time tomorrow, but whenever you're ready, we'll need a motion to approve. Sam? Are there any objections to the unanimous consent to approve the minutes? Okay, great, minutes are approved. Okay, executive announcements, I'll go quickly through this. First, just a reminder that as we go through the general orders items, only if you are an enumerated voting member for this term can you vote. So please keep that in mind. Mark, I think you're good. But other than that, I would say, like, if you're a new senator or you are not in a enumerated position during this term and not a voting member for this term, please do not vote or raise your hand when voting happens, as you are here to witness for the next term. So just a reminder there. Additionally, we have Brain Foods Week in the dining halls. And then today, after this meeting, we have an interfaith conversation in the Andrews Auditorium at Getty's Hall with Father Pete, a rabbi, and an imam, who are going to be talking about interfaith and faith in general. So if you're interested in that, you're more than welcome to come. Additionally, big thing, Back to Bend is happening on 3/23, which is a Saturday, the Saturday we come back from break. So signups are here. We're hoping to get 1,000 volunteers. It's really a great way to show our support for the South Bend community. We have a ton of projects that are open with, local volunteer sites. We're working really hard on this. So we would really appreciate it if you could just share it with your dorms, sign up if you are interested yourself. It's a really great opportunity. You'll get breakfast, lunch, and a t-shirt. And I believe it's from 9 to 1. So you have the most of the rest of your day to take that. But we would really appreciate it if you would share it and sign up if you're interested. I link the signups there as well. So thank you guys. We'll go into general orders. And firstly, we have a resolution to update the NDH wall. Yes. We will now vote on dispensing with the reading. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstain? Okay, the reading is dispensed with. We are now in questioning. You're more than welcome to ask any of the co-sponsors any questions that you might have. Ian?
Have you guys asked, administration, what the next 5 years of building, maybe new dorms or old dorms will look like? Because I know it's been happening fast, so we don't even know what.
Are you referring to new dorms in the next 5 years?
Yeah, or just any time, because even Fisher undergrad, they kind of popped that up last year, so you don't know what's.
I don't believe so. Basically that information, was not provided to us in any of the meetings, with Reflight. Mostly, at the moment, it's just that the NDH wall, has currently, there's not really an established plan in order to continually update it, in order to introduce residence halls in the NDH wall. So what I heard from an email from the Office of Facilities and Operations is that they basically were just kind of postponing it, which is not really a reasonable plan. So this resolution would really go a long way into actually continuing to update the NDH wall to represent the current structure of North Guadalupe.
So further on that question, a lot of that information is confidential, so they're not able to share it. But our plan is that when a new hall is erected, then like that summer, they would look at updating the places where that hall would be present. Does that make sense? Okay. Other questions? Amelia?
Yes, I have a question for Sam. So he and I have already talked about this bill a little bit, but on page 3 of your bill, it mentions your meeting with Karen Kennedy and Dan Roman. It says they expressed a willingness to update the bill. Would you say they were very insistent about things, or were they more just?
I would say that there was a general openness and there wasn't really pushback from the administration at all. When Aiden and I came to Rest Life, it was not really a question of can we update, but like when will we actually be able to do so? So I don't think that we faced any pushback from it. We mostly just came to them, and they said, yeah, we can do it.
It was more of a fact of like, they didn't even know that this space was outdated. Like they didn't even understand that space. So when we brought it to them, they were more than happy to make the updates that we were proposing. Yes, Ryan?
Yeah, so I need to speak to this a little bit. I noticed on page 3, kind of towards the middle, in the provisions for the future, it says that if a residence hall is discontinued, the Office of Residential Life will wait for 4 years until the last generation of the residents from the discontinued residence hall graduates. Can you just speak a little bit about why this is included in this resolution and why this courtesy is kind of provided for the future?
You want me to speak to that? Sure. So we thought really hard about this one because we understand that when a residence hall is, say, discontinued, there are still people who are part of that community, right? So like, you know, when ZOM is discontinued, for those 4 years, there's still people who feel very connected to the ZOM community. So we didn't want to take their name off of the NDH wall when that community still exists, the people who were once part of that community. Additionally, but we also recognize that there does need to be a time when those names come off. Like, for example, like Grace and Flanner are not presented on the Notre Dame wall. Like that would be interesting if they were, because it's been many years since they have been a residence hall and no one who's at the university is a part of that residence hall anymore. So we wanted to make a plan that was respectful to the people who still feel connected to that residence hall, but also ensure that like there is a step for updating this in the future when that time comes. Yes, Jacob.
Maria Bueno, the senator from JFAM, wasn't able to make it today, but you want me to speak on her behalf? This, along with the earlier situation earlier in the year where JFAM didn't have.
Is this a question, Jacob?
Oh, I'll speak on her. I was going to make a statement. But
Oh, you can do that in debate.
I did.
Yeah. So we're still, no, you're good. Thank you. Yeah, Liz.
I just had a question in terms of like keeping a dorm on the walls 4 years after, like, this is a question, so just.
No, I got it.
For people who say like lived at Zom Hall and feel a connection to the actual building and not the community, what would you say about that if they would want it to still be on the wall?
Yeah, so I would say it just doesn't follow precedence. Like we don't have Grace and Flanner up on the wall. And I would just say like, additionally, it's more like there would be no one who once lived in Zom Hall on campus to see the NDH wall. So for us, it just didn't really quite make sense to keep that in there. And also, again, to have halls that are not necessarily, like, again, we've had halls switch from men's and women's, we've had halls switch names, and it just, to keep it updated in some sort of way is something that we've always done, but we just want to enumerate a process for doing so. And again, this is also up to discretion. Like the 4-year plan is just like, they can't even we're saying they can't even look at it until the 4 years have gone. So if they decide that there are still people who have a connection to it, then it doesn't have to be taken down. Yeah, Joseph?
Yeah, what if you're in the situation where your residence hall is getting demolished at the end of the school year?
Sure.
And you're going into ZOM for 2 years and going to be in North Dining Hall for 2 years and not seeing anything on the wall that represents your norm in your community. I'm just kind of a little,
What do you mean by that?
Fisher will not be on the North Dining Hall wall. ZOM will not.
Because it's not a north quad.
Right,
Right, okay,
but the building's getting destroyed.
absolutely.
So-
And then re-erected.
And then re-erected
Yes.
eventually.
So it will not get taken down. That's
Yeah,
what it
but
was.
I'm going into North Dining Hall and my freshmen are going into North Dining Hall for 2 years and they're not gonna see anything. And I think that kind of goes against the spirit of the bill. I don't really, you know what, maybe this is a debate point.
No, you're fine. I totally understand. Like, this is supposed to be an inclusive bill. Fisher is not on the NDH wall as it stands. because
Right.
It's not a north quad door.
And if it was just a year thing, I would completely understand.
I see. So you're saying in terms of like, because ZOM still exists as a building, is that your point there?
And because of the unprecedented circumstance in that it was a transitional dorm beforehand and other dorms, even if they were not on
Sure.
North Quad, Rita's alumni Soren were going back to their dorms. I just feel like our situation's a little unique.
No, I understand.
So maybe this is more of a debate.
Absolutely. No, I got you. And we see that it's still a transitional process,
Yeah.
if that makes sense, but that's how we viewed it, but I totally understand your point. Sam, go ahead.
Yeah, so we did think a lot about this. The way we kind of see at least the NDH wall is that it's not really the residence hall, the building, but rather the residence hall, the community. And the way that the names of the NDH wall are structured is that each dorm, whether it be Keenan or not, those are representatives of the community that are in that specific hall. But unfortunately, some is gone. And if the community is gone, then it doesn't really make much sense to keep it up there. It's not because of the building, it's as a result of the community.
All right, thanks, Sam. Appreciate that. Yeah, go ahead, Justin.
So I know in Keough, there's at least 3 former ZOM residents who are currently academic sophomores. I just want to know, what do you guys say
How
about
is that possible? In terms of like they lived in ZOM for 1 year?
Yeah.
Then we just don't consider like, this is a transitional dorm now. Like you are still part of the community that has moved into that space and then is going to move back to your normal community space, your normal hall. So we view it as a transitional space. The people who actually were put into ZOM and see ZOM as like their community, most of those are going to be graduated by the end of this year. Yes, Amelia.
I'm interested maybe if we can add language to the bill. This isn't a motion for amendment, more of a question.
Yeah.
Because I think it's kind of clear that me and Lewis and Joseph, who all have lived or will live in ZOM during our career, feel a little conflicted about this. And I totally understand the Grace and Planner point that you made, but I do feel like that's a little bit different because no one lives there.
I understand.
And here who live there, and if you'd be open to maybe drawing a distinction between halls that are discontinued and are no longer housing versus halls that are discontinued that people, like I sleep in ZOM hall every night.
Sure. No, I totally understand.
And there's kind of like a difference between that. So just, I've talked to Sam about this and talked to whoever is a co-sponsor in the bill, but that is maybe a change I'd be interested in seeing.
Sam, you're the primary author, so.
I have observations on that. And I will it might be some wrong.
Okay, so we'll wait on that. And if you want to make the motion during debate, you're more than welcome to as well. Yeah, Ian.
I got a question about the history of has the wall ever been updated since NDH were built, or is it more kind of a relic of the time of when NDH were built? These were the dorms that were in the
To my understanding, there were renovations in 2018 of the North Dining Hall, in general. And as a result, I'm not entirely sure if they either placed the wall in there as it was there, or they either renovated it. But it hasn't had any changes since 2018 at all.
Yes, Lulu.
So the wall is supposed to, I guess, represent the
communities of XYZ dorm versus the actual structure building.
Right, that's what we heard from Residential Life, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was just the question.
Thank you, yeah, that's the message that we got from Residential Life. Jake?
Motion to move out of questioning and into debate. Second.
Okay, we're now gonna vote on moving out of questioning and into debate. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstain? Okay, we're now in debate. Yes, Belle?
Okay, so I have two things. First of all, I know, like, so I'm a senior, and so most of the people that were in their freshman year are now graduating, but I know there are some architecture students that will be here for a fifth year, so I feel like that's a little rude towards them for that to be gone in their final undergraduate year here. And then also, I know you're talking about like the precedents with Grayson Planner, but I mean, someone can correct me if I'm wrong on this, I'm not positive, but in Duncan, Pangborn's on the walls, and that was when the stadium was renovated and Duncan was built, I'm pretty sure Pangborn was a swing dorm. So that the precedent would be that swing dorms are on a wall because yes.
Right, yeah, and I think, I appreciate that point. We just, like, again, we wanted to make it so that there has to be some, I don't know what the timeline is. I mean, 10 years, 12 years, 8 years, like, eventually the community does not hold, like Grayson Planner, no one has lived in Grayson Planner for a long time. Additionally, the space in Duncan has not been updated in a very long time, and since it was constructed, and we talked with rec sports individuals, and they didn't even know that it needed to be updated. Like, they're not keeping track of what residence halls are created and destroyed, and they're not making those decisions just because they plainly don't know about the changes in residential life. So that's kind of where that goes. But yes, swing dorms, I agree with you, like, should be included. It's just the dorms that, again, are once again, like, there's not a standard community set there anymore. And that's kind of our perspective on that. Peter?
I will say with respect to halls like Grayson Planner and Holy Cross that no longer exist on campus or are no longer residence halls, there's still a strong connection between alumni and their community. I know I've spoken to alumni from Holy Cross Hall. If you don't know, that was torn down in 1990. And professors here who lived in Grace or Planner. And it's worth noting that Grace and Planner at least have an end date page. So the alumni community, I think, still exists and still wants to see that reflected on campus.
Yeah, Bridget?
And maybe like a possible thing to consider could be seeing this wall as like more of a historically the communities that have been a part of North Dining Hall and who have like felt community at it. So if there was an option or if people would consider possibly editing it so it's to include additional dorm communities or like hall communities that are now a part of like North Quad, but not to necessarily take ones off whenever there are still alumni who come and visit and use the dining hall, like to see themselves erased from the history.
Thank you, Jade.
But I feel like a little bit conflicted on both sides of this. You know, I completely see validity to like maintaining Zom on the wall. In fact, in O'Neill, I know that like I've been specifically asked by some men who formerly lived in Zom to keep it on. But I do also think that it's worthwhile to think about like, yes, there is an entire like class of men who lived in Zom or who lived in Grayson Planner. But as the years go on, the amount of people who like are part of the Notre Dame community will continue to be smaller as we like, have new residence halls and new people who live there. So it does, I also think like we do need to be setting a precedent in that way of like, are we going to have a historic wall that keeps every single residence hall ever, especially like as other ones are demolished? I think that there is also a way, which I completely agree, of like having a memorial, that feels like Monday, like a space like honor residence halls. And I think that there's a way in which like we can engage alumni that isn't explicitly the like dining hall that students primarily use. I think we can have a space like the ECK Visitor Center that has all of the residence halls. Like I completely agree that it's important to honor the people who lived in these halls, but we don't necessarily need to have it in a space that, let's say, is 80 or 90% predominantly being used by students or people who work for the university. I also do acknowledge that there is special circumstances like people who lived in Zom that are architecture majors or people who will have lived in Zom. I do think that my conflict with that is more so that like even if you live in Zom, like you're not a person in Zom, you're still like, let's say a Fisher person who is in Zom. And I don't really, maybe like I would just like to better understand like, in like the case of what you had said like freshmen who will be living in Zom or spend your freshman and sophomore year, do you foresee that like those people are gonna see Zom as like part of themselves, or when Fisher is reinstated and they go back, that they'll prefer Fisher? I just wanna like understand, not like.
I can answer that.
Quickly, yeah.
Since it's direct. I definitely think it will not be like a Zom thing. I definitely think it'll be a Fisher thing. I just think it's a lack of, I just think it's a representation thing, you know, and I'm not, it's just a tough thing because we're gonna be there for 2 years. And I know that there's gonna be a host of like 55 guys who are gonna be, you know, eating an NDH 15 times a week. And for the sophomore and their junior year, and either they eat at South Dining Hall their senior year, or they're off campus their senior year. And maybe, I mean, I know it's a small thing. I don't know, I haven't lived in Zom yet. I just, you know, I kind of feels like we're out there in the wilderness at this point, so.
Okay. Clay, I see you, and then Sam, I'll let you respond.
Yeah, I just want to build on James' point. I completely agree with him. I think, and I just want to point out that the fact that the NDH wall doesn't already have race and flanner on it kind of points to the fact that the precedent has already been set that this is actually living communities where students are going to be once existed. So while I definitely see the points made by some others that any community that somebody is living at some point deserves recognition on this campus. I think that the precedent's already been set by the NDH wall, that this is, that they've lived in norms. I don't think that's all.
Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, so primarily speaking, the North Dining Hall wall is for Notre Dame students. Because because we are the ones, well, Northwest residents are the ones who are going every single day to NDH. If we were to make it kind of historical and to have like all the previous dorms, then we would also have to include Brownstone Hall, which was demolished in World War II, which wouldn't really make any sense. To make it historical, like, it really doesn't make any sense to have on a wall that's being used like every single day. It could be added somewhere else, but not in North Dining Hall. And I do want to point out, we have to weigh the pros and cons here. Are we really gonna shut down legislation in order that really would benefit a lot more people than do more damage? I mean, JFAM is gonna get their name up in the summer, including Fisher undergrad and the new men's residence hall. We don't even know their names yet. The moment we know their names, it's almost guaranteed that they have to get their names on the wall. So they're already properly represented there, coming right off the bat. So it would actually have more benefit in the long term for more amounts of people. And I also want to say that, generally speaking, I don't really want to consider taking something off or adding something else, because Aiden and I spoke with Rest Life, and I worry that adding something that we didn't discuss would kind of go against what we already discussed. And I don't want to have any sort of conflicting opinions in that regard.
Thank you. Quickly, as a point of clarification, there is no current plan. Like the NDH wall does not get updated. And it will continue to not get updated without a current plan. And this is just the current plan that we discussed with residential life. So yes, a lot of hands. I'll go Ryan.
Yeah, so there is a lot of merit to both sides, as you're saying. I don't think anyone here is completely advocating. I like the idea of that Anchorage added, making it historical. The happy medium that we're looking for is already provided for within the legislation to accommodate this with the 4-year kind of grace period. And with that 4-year period, it makes it such that recent alumni who come back still feel connected. And then by the time they're gone, they say, oh, I've been out of college for 4 years. I understand this. It just seems kind of hypocritical that this is provided for in the legislation, but Zom is very directly not included in it. So if you were to include that part, you are taking one community and saying this doesn't apply to you. That makes sense. And I kind of see that as concerning. And quite frankly, I hadn't thought about the bill or the resolution, excuse me, I hadn't thought about it a lot until I too was approached by former Sound residents who are now Found residents, and they expressed very strong concern saying, we want to be represented. And this is ultimately a matter of representation. And so it just feels strange to exclude one community from the provision that you set forth.
Sure, Jacob?
Yeah, I'll take two on this. Maria's not able to be here. She's a senator. This is a bill Jason has really rallied behind. There's already been a few instances on campus where, since they're fairly new, both in 2020, they haven't been represented. And this would be really important for their community. So, like, no matter like how you're going to consider voting, like, consider how it would feel if your dorm wasn't on the wall. You go to the
Yes.
Motion to move out of debate and into.
Okay, we are now going to vote on moving out of debate and into a vote. All in favor? Opposed? Oh, damn. Okay, all in favor?
Hi, please. Oh, Mark, you cannot vote, I'm sorry. FMB is not a voting member. Oh, yeah, no, you're good, sorry. Hi, please. No.
Yep. Opposed? Okay, it passes by a slim margin.
Oh, point of inquiry, do unfriendly amendments have to happen in debate?
Sorry?
Do unfriendly amendments have to happen in debate?
They can't happen during a vote.
Okay, yeah, that was my question, so thank you.
Yes, okay. We're now going to, yes.
I was trying to amend the bill, are we allowed to do that before, I didn't get called on?
Yeah, if there, sorry,
I
Andrew.
was gonna say, like, isn't in previous times you've like held off on the vote to move into a vote if there's hands up?
But if there's a second, I have to go into the vote. I have to go into the vote. So like,
Yeah, I think precedent.
yeah, because I didn't catch, this is not purposeful on my part. Like, this is simply the way that it occurred. It must be voted on now.
Is there a way we can suspend the rules?
Oh, with an immediate motion and a 3/4 vote, we can suspend the rules.
I motion to suspend the rules.
Okay. All those in favor of suspending parliamentary procedure in this case?
Come on, guys.
Wait, hang on. Please, if you're voting to suspend parliamentary procedure, please keep your hands raised.
What happened?
Tony, we're gonna amend the bill so Zom's included in your question.
I just want to vote no. Okay, all opposed? Opposed.
Reject it and send it back. See if we work on it.
I love Robert's rules. What? No, really not. That's my bad. Wait, what do you need first?
The motion fails, only 72%. Approved. So the motion fails. We're voting on it. Again, oh no, actually. So, sorry. By division, you mean, you want to know what the counts were?
Yeah.
Okay, it was 18
in favor and
And you want to call it individually? Because that would be division.
No, that's not that deep, it's not that deep.
Again, this can be brought back, like, and in a different format, like, this is not the end of the bill, so, like, again, we will vote on it, if. Please, okay. We're now going to vote on a resolution to update the NDH wall, all those in favor? High hands, please.
Whatever. New men's
Oh my God.
Who said that right now?
Okay, all opposed?
Were you raising your hand?
Raise your hand.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It was so well.
Yes.
Okay, abstain? Okay, it passes by a vote of 1. 16 to 15.
They're the rules.
Okay. We'll now move on to SO 2324-18A in order to clarify and amend Article 12 of the Constitution. Yes, Justin? Okay, we will now vote on dispensing with the reading. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstain. Okay, the reading is dispensed with. We are now. Oh, and then, okay. If there's a motion, there's also a memorandum for this one. Yes.
Motion to dispense with the reading of the memorandum. Second.
Okay, we'll now vote on dispensing with the reading of the memorandum. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstain. Okay, great. We are now in questioning on in order to clarify and amend Article 12 and Article 15 of the Constitution.
Oh, is the memorandum for both?
Is the memorandum for both or?
Yes, the memorandum is for both. Sam?
Are we gonna be voting these on a block or?
But separately, we just thought it was easier to write one memorandum rather than two. And also, because they were initially the same order, we thought it'd be more appropriate to write, like 18A and 18C were initially just 18, so. Yeah, not voting in block. What do you say? Certainly, if you'd like to.
Motion to vote in block.
For A and C?
Items B and C.
Items A.
No, on the agenda, items B and C.
Oh, items B and C, yes. Okay. So we will now vote on voting on those items as block. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstain. Okay, those items will be voted on in block. You're welcome to ask any questions you might have at this time. Jacob.
Under, in like 2 sentences, can you explain what this is?
There'll be long sentences. No, so 2 sentences. First one is almost purely just formatting and moving things around. Really no real changes. Second one is just adding or borrowing people from endorsing during the petitioning phase who already cannot endorse during the campaigning phase because we saw a lack of rules governing the petitioning phase. And then if you'll give me one last gray sentence, it'll be none of these changes take effect until the end of this term to make sure that we're not upsetting the current election. So our goal is not to change any current rules. We're intentionally doing this like in future.
Okay, we're still in questioning. Louis? Okay, we're now going to vote on moving out of questioning and into debate. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained. Okay, we are now in debate on both of these items B and C. Sam?
Unanimous consent to move out of debate and into a vote.
Are there any objections to unanimous consent to move out of debate and into a vote? Okay, seeing that there are none, we are now going to vote on items B and C en block. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained. Okay, great. Both of those pass. Thank you very much, Hunter, for your work on that. Okay, we are now going to move into SO 2324-19 in order to amend Article 1 of the Constitution regarding green dot training.
Your name is Scott.
Motion to dispense with the reading.
Okay, we are now going to vote on dispensing with the reading. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstain? Okay. We're now in questioning on SO 2324-19. Delia?
Libby, just like really shortly, what's the bill?
Yeah, basically, we had like an issue this year where there was a lot of first years that didn't get green dot trained on time because they're like enumerated 4 weeks later. And there was like a ton of spots like that they weren't available for like last minute green dot training, leading to like 15 people violating the Constitution by not getting green dot trained. And if we think we just extend it by 4 academic weeks, the deadline for first year, people elected to first year class council, that'll help mitigate this issue to let them get green dot trained on time.
You're still in question. Jaden?
Motion to move out of questioning into debate. Second.
We're now going to vote on moving out of questioning and into debate. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained. Okay, thank you very much. We're now in debate. Sam?
One sentence. I want to really appreciate Livy for all her work that she has done on this issue. And I want to say that a lot of us can have disagreements or approvals on the importance of green dot training, but as a general, this would benefit a lot of first year students.
Thank you. Hunter. I was just gonna briefly thank both of you, both Sam and Lizzie were kind of writing this individually, and really were able to come together. And so that was great. Thank you, guys.
Liz?
Second.
Okay, we're now going to vote on moving out of debate and into a vote. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstain? Okay. We're now going to vote on SO 23-2419 in order to amend Article 1 of the Constitution regarding green dot training. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstain? Okay, great. The motion passes. Thank you very much to everyone who worked on that. Yes, Andrew.
I motion to consider items E and F in block.
Okay, we're now going to vote on considering items E and F in general orders in block. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Okay, great. SO 23-24-23 and SO 23-24-24 will be considered in block. Ready?
I motion to dispense with the reading.
Okay, we are now going to vote on dispensing with the reading. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Okay, thank you. The reading is dispensed with, and we are now in questioning. Yes, Willow.
Give it to Andrew.
Yeah, sure. So the first one, it just states the same exact thing over twice, just a specific example for first year line of succession, regarding class officers. So it's just getting rid of that because the same thing applies to all of them. And then the second one, it's just getting rid of the first year studies program and determining who's of good academic standing because that's not a thing. And the Office of Registrar handles that. And then the Office of Community Standards and Housing is not a thing, so that renames it to the Office of Community Standards because that's who's responsible for student behavior.
Yes, Ian.
I motion that we move out of questioning and debate.
Okay, we're now going to vote on moving out of questioning and into debate. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Okay. We are now in debate on items E and F.
I move to end debate.
Second. Okay, we will now vote on moving out of debate into a vote on items E and F. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Okay, we will now vote on items E and F in block. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Okay, great. Thank you guys very much. Now we will move into Student Union Annual Award nominations. So, and thank you, Andrew. I appreciate your work on that. Okay, so this gets a little more difficult. So there's a lot of nominations, as you can see. And the way that we're going to do this is, again, we'll go with the same kind of process, but when it comes time to voting, I will send you all a Google form with all the names. You will vote for one name, and then if there's a runoff, then I will send you another Google form with two names, and then you will vote for one name as well. So, but the same process occurs before that, before we get to the voting. So, yes, Amelia. Okay, all in favor of dispensing with the reading? Opposed? Abstained? Okay, the reading is dispensed with. We are now in questioning. There's nothing to question. We are now in debate. Liz? Okay, we will now vote on moving out of debate into a vote. All those in favor? Opposed? You have a point to make, Corey?
Can you just explain like how this works?
Oh, yeah. Corey, do you want to explain really quickly?
Sure. So each year, J Council solicits nominations for a few awards in the student union. And so this one is this one's the Frank O'Malley Issue Graduate Teaching Award. And so on the first page of the document, that's the section in the Constitution that talks about it. And so those are like the requirements and everything. And then you all are going to vote on who wins the award.
Thank you.
Okay.
I was just gonna add in terms of voting, if no one gets more than 50% of the vote immediately, we'll go to a round.
So that's where the second Google form will come in. So give me a second. I will send all of you guys, all voting members. Please, again, only vote if you're a voting member. Oh, yeah, that would be helpful. we'll put the link on there, and then if you can just click a name for that one, that would be wonderful. And then if no one gets 50%, then I will send a second one with the top two names, and you'll vote on that one as well.
I mean, no, you're not
So we can go.
Wait, we're not debating.
Oh,
Put on the
it's terrible.
I'm
looking at it. Bruh, I was gonna vouch for my guy. Yeah, but he has 4 votes. He's a small major, in a 30-person major. He's vouching for that, man. Motion to suspend. Wait. Can we go back and debate if we suspend the rules?
No, there's no rules, there's no debate.
I mean,
It's not like you want to.
So done. Well, okay, I really should have reviewed parliamentary procedure like a long time ago. I've always known about it, I just never really cared.
Do you have your little parliamentary procedure book in front of you, or? was
No,
that-
no, this is poetry.
It's, I will say, I have never heard anyone in 3 years ask for a division.
That was
You said that, and I was like, damn.
I know parliamentary procedure
We
really
should have done
well.
a division. We should have done a division.
Like, we need out to make sure it's correct.
Okay, but we made you guys.
So he's like questioning, you didn't make the playoffs. did
Yeah,
you?"
so, Bruno, only 2 of 1 team and all of the team that are making it. We got so screwed.
Right there.
That wasn't good for that, that was good. It was a good. You're like kind of coach all the guys.
Oh, yeah, I was literally trying to coach them, and your one guy like pulls
And
up,
then one
shoots
guy
a 28 footer in front of my mouth.
The drive is just, it's foul every time. Awesome. And you guys are like, oh, he's beat you, whatever. Yeah, because it would be terrible. I tell you that, yeah. Again, he has the worst decision making. And he's on our team. He plays the same way every time. He'll shoot the 2-3, he'll drive on 4 down.
has everyone voted? Is anyone still voting? No worries, take your time.
I never received that.
It's on the dock, it's on the dock.
agenda.
Oh,
Sorry.
No, you're good, it's on the agenda.
guys, vote for
It's in the
Matt.
agenda.
Are we in debate?
What? No, that was just like a random, sorry, I just. Yeah. Wait, what? Wait, who would ever be removed from office?
Yeah, Mark.
That was. Hold up.
No, I was right. Has anyone still not voted yet?
No, I mean.
Yeah, so it'll be a runoff between Father Kevin Grove and Rebecca Wingert. So I'll send that out, and then whoever wins that.
Is it gonna be in the agenda again?
Who won?
Okay, thank
Give
you.
me 1 second, because I have to make the form with only those 2.
Ouch.
Maybe you should rush for one.
Just make sure I was. Yeah, maybe you should. I'm not.
Oh.
I shared it, I shared it.
I'm not doing this.
I just shared it before.
I have the latest stuff.
I think you just put it in voting.
They pitch Bell.
I broke that, I'm in 38 times, that's just crazy.
Wow.
Yara, it's not gonna get any votes.
I'm not very technologically literate.
We should have debated.
1 second, 1 second. Okay, it should be up, thank you.
Yeah, there's a runoff. I might send my guy.
So what's one you're gonna teach?
So.
But he's.
That's wild.
So like, who's fighting the judge five? I'll vote for Wick.
Has anyone not voted at this time? Okay, no worries, take your time. Has anyone not voted yet? Okay, going once, going twice. Okay, so oh, hang on, just got one. Okay, thank you. And then, okay, so by a vote of 21 to 14, Father Kevin Grove will be receiving the awards. So congratulations, Father. Okay, thank you guys for working through that process. This next one will work the exact same way as we did the other one. Yes, Justin? Okay, we'll now vote on dispensing with the reading. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Okay. Yes. Okay, so this one, this award includes some people in the room who have been nominated. So are they allowed to vote? No. So you guys are not allowed to vote, and also, okay, perfect. And then- Okay, so you guys just will have to leave the room during the voting process as well, just to let you know, okay. We're, and for debate as well, sorry. So we're in debate now, because there's nothing to question, so you have to exit, sorry.
Similar to like a nomination.
Yes. No. Hang on, we'll wait till they exit the room.
Honestly.
Okay, we are now in debate.
Can I abstain?
Justin?
I just have like a quick question.
Yeah.
It says a student or like a faculty member, is it like split up on the ballot? So you know which one?
So the Irish Clover, this one, these are all students. The item on the agenda following is the Nancy J. Walsh, and that's for faculty, staff, and administrators. So this one's just student and alumni.
Okay, Sam?
You know, I think we should consider giving this award to Paul Stoller. I don't know what happened. But I know he really liked his job. He was class president for 3 years. I think Paul Stoller deserves it.
Thank you, Sam. We're still in debate. Max?
Yeah, there's a lot, I don't know a ton either, even though I'm class president, but Paul, from what I knew him, from what my interactions with him, he was always a really nice and charismatic guy, and did really love class council, which is kind of an underrated part of student government, if I might add.
Yeah, Max?
Unbiased opinion.
Yeah. Quickly, thank you. Val?
I don't think we can overlook Kylie Kaczynski. Let's not forget it's Women's History Month, and she was the first female leprechaun at a Notre Dame football game. And I mean, I know her personally, but also just reading this from someone else, like, I agree with all of this completely, and I think she's done amazing things here in her 4 years, and I think she's really deserving of it.
Thank you. Bella?
I also want to advocate for Kylie Kaczynski. She's genuinely one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. And not only that, she cares so much about Notre Dame. She has so much love for the school. And as mentioned, she was the first female leprechaun at a Notre Dame football game, which is something really important to know.
Jaden?
Just one last bit of support for Paul. I think that again, in recognition of somebody who has given exemplary service to the student body, like that is somebody who, regardless of where he is now, like he put in 3 years of good work for the student union. And I remember as a fueler my freshman year, like he was very present and active in like our fuel. And I will say he was part of the reason why like I chose to like even re-engage with student government and student union. So yeah, one more for Paul.
Amelia?
I want to give a shout out to Dominic Bolko. He's done a lot for first generation students at Notre Dame in his time here, and I think that's really important and something that doesn't always get recognized by the student union as compared to maybe a student government position. So just consider him.
I just also want to second it. As to what you said about Dominic, I think that like in the short time that I've been here, he's been like a really great example, and I think this just sets like he's not as public as a figure as I feel like she mentioned. Like Kylie, obviously we see on the field, and she does a great job, and like a lot of the other people we see actively. But I think that this is a really great example of a Notre Dame student who like touches with the community on like a one-on-one level and it shows that you don't have to be like the face of something to make a real big impact on this campus.
Do you have any more points of debate? Liz? Okay, we will now vote on moving out of debate and into a vote on the Irish Culver Award. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Okay, we will now vote on it. It'll work the same way. Just give me a second to link it and pull it up. So yes, once again, if no one gets 50%, we'll do a runoff with the top 2 candidates. Everyone access it? Thank you. Yes.
Are people who are we also allowed to vote for this one as well?
Yes. Yes.
Are you?
What's your question?
Or are we not allowed to?
For.
She's a proxy.
Yeah.
But she didn't.
Oh, it's on the agenda.
No, I
What's
did
the-
get
sorry,
the
what's
point,
your
like, if we're new, are we allowed to vote for things?
We are a proxy.
Yes,
So you're allowed to vote as a proxy,
got it, okay.
not as a new senator, but as a proxy, you're allowed to vote.
Okay, thank you.
Has anyone not voted yet? Yeah. Okay, perfect. Just check, make sure. Okay. Yeah, something's not right. Which is not anonymous. Yeah. Okay. Do you have the code? It's 38 voting members and 2 people didn't vote. Well, so I'm thinking if you have 38 voting, 2 of them left the room, right? Then we should have 36 at maximum. I'm just trying to figure out, but if everyone's allowed to vote, then it's okay. Okay, so the runoff will be between Paul and Dominic, both receiving 11 votes. So we will then, I will make that form and send out a new one for the runoff.
That's crazy. I don't know.
Okay, it should be linked now. You want to? It's okay. So- Has anyone not had the chance to vote yet? Anyone not voted yet? All good? Anyone? Anyone else? Speak now, forever hold your peace. Okay. Let me just check and make sure that everyone is a voting member. Okay. Okay, so by a vote of 26-10, Dominic Blanco will be receiving the award. So thank you. Okay, so we will now move on to the last one, which is the Nancy J. Walsh Irish Clover Award nomination. So this is for faculty or staff member who has done great work for the student union. Clay?
Second.
We will not vote on dispensing with the reading. All those in favor? Please raise them high, sorry. Thank you. Opposed? Abstain. Okay, the reading is dispensed with. There's nothing to question, so we are now in debate.
I would just like to say quickly that, I've had the privilege of working with Devin for 4 years now, and I can honestly say that the advisor to the judicial council is a really hard job and one that takes a lot of selflessness. And everything that you see that we do within the student union and for the student body in terms of like elections is all because Devin is willing to make a lot of sacrifices for us. And so I hope this is his last year as J Council advisor, and I hope that you would help us to honor his contributions to the student.
Yeah, to second that point,
Oh, sorry, Corey.
yes, to second that point, the peer advocacy program wouldn't even exist without Devin. He helped kind of push that through and get that added to the district council, which has been really impactful. He's also like super willing to meet at like really, really awkward times for, you know, for faculty. Oftentimes there's meetings at like 10 p.m. or 8 a.m. for judicial council that we have to do. So really has put in a lot for the organization and would highly encourage you all to vote for him.
Thank you.
I will add, I also have done that since my freshman year, because I first also this this. And even though I haven't worked with him directly since then, I know that I can always go back to him and ask for any piece of advice. I did it this year, I did it in the past. Always willing to listen to you and take time out of this incredibly busy day. If you find him somewhere, then to just talk to you. Give you that support and guidance.
Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, I want to highlight personally Tony Pilato. I wrote it. I will say that a lot of the issues that have come up before Senate in the past 2 years, around almost like 50%, Tony Pilato has helped a lot, even on issues that are just not infrastructure related. Tony Pilato is always there. The Moreau issue, he actually directed me to Madison at that point. So I will say, I think Tony Pilato deserves this award.
Thank you. Brian?
Yeah, I'm also like to advocate for Tony Pilato. He's been very helpful with fixing an issue with Clayton and Carroll Hall community for a long time. Now we get to keep our feet dry walking to class. But yeah, he's been very well being communicative to us and actually seeing some practical results.
Ian, and then.
As a biochem major, I just wanted to, I know she's not a big administrator, and say I think Deanne Goodenow is a really great advisor. She makes a big impact on a small students, but I just wanted to really put that out there.
Thank you, Ian. And Hunter?
I'd be remiss if I didn't, or I also have worked with Anthony, and I think he is a great guy deserving of this award. But I would be remiss if I did not ask you guys to consider Devin. It's his last year, and he has been a really steadfast advisor to the Judicial Council for the past 8 years. He has sacrificed an enormous amount of personal time, consistently showing up to all of our, hearings and stuff that happen extremely late at night. He has been extraordinarily dedicated to ensuring clean elections, ensuring ethical and accountable behavior. And I really don't think J Council would be an inch of what it is today without Devin really seeing us through. So I think he's been an integral part of the student union for the past 8 years, and I think this would be a really lovely way to thank him for that service.
Thank you. Aaliyah?
Just a point of clarification, is it his last year like at the university or just with JC?
J Council.
Just with judicial, yes, thank you for asking that question.
No,
Evan is
no,
not
no.
leaving the university, he just will no longer be advising judicial.
Thank you.
Great.
Okay. Vote on moving out of debate into a vote. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained. Okay, we're not going to vote on it. Works exactly the same way.
Yeah, did you share it with me?
I think I did, but
All right.
I have it here as well. So
Can do for you once I find the agenda.
that's fine. I got it.
That's the.
Okay, it should be up for everyone.
That's hilarious.
No, Mark is really happy.
Yeah. 9 wins, they're gonna cut
I feel strong. He's
The second one.
Oh, you do? You know?
He
likes
it.
Oh,
Check, has anyone not voted yet? Everyone's voted? Okay, thank you. Okay, so this one. Make sure we just got one away. Okay. Okay, so this one will not go to a runoff. Devin has won with 19 votes, which is 52.8%. So Devin will receive the Nancy J. Walsh Irish Clover Award. Thank you for taking the time to do that. I would ask, Lulu has missed class for the Michael J. Palumbo Award, so if we could potentially vote on that today, I think that would really mean a lot because she has made a big effort to be here today. If we could potentially move that up as well, and also Emily is here as well for sub nomination. So if we could potentially, because they are here, I would look favorably on that, but again, that is your decision and up to your discretion if you would like to move those items up. Andrew,
I seek unanimous consent to move items A and D.
are there any objections to unanimous consent to move items A and D up? Okay, thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. And we'll move those up. So we have the Michael J. Palumbo Award. Joseph? Oh,
No,
sorry. Okay. Justin?
Motion to dispense with the readings. Second.
Okay, so we'll now vote on dispensing with the reading. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Okay, the reading is dispensed with. We're in questioning, so you'd stay for that. Are there any questions for Lulu or Corin? I guess the Student Union Ethics Committee on behalf of Corin. Sam?
Just one sentence, how did you go about the nomination too?
The Student Union Ethics Commission took into consideration length of service, commitment to the class council for the entirety of her tenure, and also her membership on the Student Union Ethics Commission for 2 years, and where she has exemplified great ability to uphold the Constitution.
Still in questioning? Yes, Ian?
I motion we move out of questioning and into debate.
Second.
Okay, we'll now vote on moving out of questioning into debate. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Okay. Well, thank you very much. Okay, we're now in debate, Libby.
Yeah, quite a bit of debate. So I'm the Senate representative on the Ethics Commission, and we really thought long and hard about this nomination. And we really liked, like, as Corin was saying earlier, like her true dedication, especially to class council, as Max was saying earlier, you know, like sometimes like an overlooked part of student government. And I also just like from her like personal contributions to both like the Notre Dame community as a whole, but also like I've seen her contributions in Lions and like and all of that. So everyone I know has had amazing things to say about her. So
Yeah, Joseph.
Motion to move out of debate and into a vote.
Second.
Okay, we will now vote on moving out of debate and into a vote. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Okay, we will now vote. This one, since it's a nomination, will be done in the traditional format. We will now vote on the nomination for the Michael J. Palumbo Award. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Okay, great. It passes. If we could greet her with a round of applause, that'd be very nice. Thank you. Wonderful, thank you. We have now a nomination for Student Union Board Executive Director. Yes, Justin? We'll now vote on dispensing with the reading. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Okay, the reading is dispensed with, and we are in questioning, so feel free to direct your questions if you have any. Yes, Jacob?
Are you able to share who the sound and sub is for this year?
I'm not, but still.
Yeah, Andrew.
Can you just briefly say what you're most excited about in this new role, if confirmed?
Yeah, I'm really excited to have a larger role to really expand our programming and our body and continue to with great artists, speakers, and events on campus.
You're still in questioning?
To unanimous consent to move out of questioning to debate.
Are there any objections to unanimous consent to move out of questioning and into debate? Okay, seeing that there are none, Emily, if you could exit the room for this part. Thank you. Yes, Rose?
I went to high school with Emily actually, so we worked on student council there, and I would say I'm still friends with her, and I just know she has like one of the best work ethics I've ever seen. Very passionate, very organized, obviously, but also just like a very good person, just I think to lead stuff next year, so I highly recommend voting for her nomination.
Thank you. Billy?
Yeah, I'll quickly say as well, obviously I nominated Emily, but she has shown immense dedication to sub over the past 3 years. She was a flipper freshman year. She went to like the publicity realm her sophomore year, and she handles the most amount of committees out of any director of programming this year. But she also is always willing to like sit in the sub office with me and brainstorm and come up with ideas, even if it's not at the committees that she's in charge of. So she showed that she can definitely handle all 7 committees and various departments and stuff.
Yeah, I've known Emily since she was a freshman in sub. I'm also in sub, so I can just kind of reiterate what Lily said that, I'm sorry, Rose, correct? Yeah, just reiterating what they were saying, like, she's so excited about sub, like, she always comes to the meetings, like, with a smile on her face and willing to help anyone. She doesn't work directly with me, but like, I can always ask her questions, and she's always.
Motion to move out of debate into the vote.
Second.
All right, we will now vote on moving out of debate and into a vote. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Okay, we are now going to vote on the nomination for the executive director of sub. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Okay, great. Thank you very much. It passes. Still in new business, but once again, we're going to hear these items immediately. There's no motion. Yeah, Jacob?
Motion to move out of new business.
You don't need to do that. We'll move out of that. You're good. Thank you, though. Okay, seeing that there, nothing, okay. Seeing there are no motions, we'll move into announcements. Does anyone have any announcements to share? Hunter, go ahead first.
So all of you who are currently senators are required to meet with the people who will be replacing you next year. So definitely reach out to the 2024-2025 senator, meet with them, talk about Senate, and yeah. Also, if you are here and will be a senator next year, sorry the meeting went a little long, but please stay behind.
First of all, thank you to everyone who came to any of our events this week. We had a table at the Women's Advocacy Market, which was a great event, by the way. Dogs and Donuts was today for success. Tomorrow we have our Shamrock and Roll right for Cafe from 6 to 8 in Hagerty Family Cafe. We'll have the Kaylee Band and Patrick's Day Giveaways and food, and then we'll have the Kiss Cafe as usual from 8:30 to 10:30. Also keep a lookout in the coming days and weeks for sub promotion announcements.
Thank you.
I know Aiden mentioned this at the start of the meeting, but I just want to reiterate that everyone should consider doing Back the Bend. You can sign up for a team with all your friends and you get free food and free shirts. A really quick and easy way just to make a large impact in the South Bend community. So I'd really encourage everyone about it.
Thank you. Are there any other further announcements before we adjourn? Okay, we'll need a motion to adjourn then. Clyde? Okay, we'll now vote on adjourning. All those in favor? Opposed, abstained? Thank you guys. Thank you for bearing with the meeting.